Hey guys, today I want to show you why it is so much easier to sell a high ticket offer of 5K and above than it is to sell a low ticket offer of $500 or £500 and below. So stick around to find out exactly why it's easier and how to do it. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Pam Obasa, the founder of The Lucrative Lady. If it is your first time here, then on this channel I publish 3 times a week and I teach you all things business, coaching, marketing, and especially how to sell high ticket offer. Because I tell you something, once upon a time I was that girl that only sold low ticket and struggled at selling that. Now I get to have launches that are multi-6-figure launches, selling high ticket offers with ease. And in this video I'm going to be debunking one of the biggest things when it comes to selling high ticket, why you should do it and why it is so much easier to sell a high ticket than it is low ticket. So most people think that it's actually easier to sell a low ticket offer than it is to sell a high ticket. But before I break it down, let me first talk about what is a high ticket offer. Most of the time when I say high ticket, or when most people hear the words high ticket, they believe that it's just a price thing. It isn't just a price thing, it's a value thing. So high ticket equals high value. And see, because it is high value, it's got to also have a high price tag, or rather a price tag that matches the value. So the amount of money is actually irrelevant, right? Because it is of high value. And so therefore, if you are giving something that is of a high value, you are changing their lives, you are changing their health, you are changing their business, you are changing their education, you are giving them the opportunity to experience something that they might never have experienced. If not but for your input, then that is high value. Now, when we talk about high ticket pricing, in the coaching space, high ticket pricing begins from around 3K and above. And in actual fact, 3K is actually quite low for high ticket. That's more of the lower end. So for truly high ticket, we're talking 5K, 10K, 15, 20, even 100K, and sometimes 200K offers. Yes, you heard that right. But what are some of the reasons as to why it is easier to sell a $5,000 offer than it is to sell a $500 offer? Let me break it down. Number one is believability. Let's say that you are helping somebody to grow their business and to potentially take it to 6 figures or to 7 figures and beyond. Is it believable that you are able to get them that result and yet you're charging $500 or £500 or anything like that? Is that believable? Help me make that make sense. Somebody, please. No, it isn't believable. And I found this out the really hard way. When I first started with one of my signature offers, one of my mostly transformational offers, really incredible value, I was charging $500 for this offer. And so I put together my very first sales system. It was a small sales system, a series of videos, and a lady got in touch with me. Now remember, the offer was $500. A lady got in touch with me on Messenger and she said, Pam, I hear you're the bee's knees when it comes to sales through storytelling. Can you help me? And I looked at this message and I sort of thought, I'm busy with my kids. And so I thought, I'd fob her off, because most of the time when people get on calls with me at that time, they were really coming to pick my brain for free. So I looked at the message and I thought, what does she want? Okay, I'm going to send her these videos to have a look at, and then from there she will probably just not get in touch with me. So I sent her the message, sent her the links, and I went about my business playing with my kids. A couple of hours later she gets in touch with me and the message read something along the lines of, oh my God, Pam, I cannot wait to speak with you. So I looked at the message and thought, okay, that's interesting, that never really happens. And then she said, what's the link to schedule a call with you? So I sent her the link and I went about my business. Within a few minutes, she scheduled the call. The following day, we had the call. And I'm thinking, who is this woman? What do you want from me? We got on Zoom and I'm sitting there for the call. And, she gets on the call and I do the normal building rapport. Hey, how are you? Really good to finally meet you. And, tell me a little bit about yourself. And in the middle of me speaking, she says, hold on a minute, Pam, just honestly, I've watched your videos, I've downloaded everything in my head, and honestly, I'm so excited to work with you. Just before you keep going, just tell me, how much is it to work with you? I know it's around the 10K mark. Honestly, my jaw nearly hit the table. I couldn't believe what she just said. She said, I know it's around the 10K mark. I had to try my best to keep a poker face because I couldn't believe it, because at that point, it wasn't $10,000 I was charging. It was $500. But something in the midst of what I had sent her, whatever it is that she had viewed beforehand, gave her an impression, gave her an idea of this is what it costs to work with Pam. And at that point, I didn't even have the confidence to even agree with her. So I just stared at her and she said, and she just sort of looked at me like, come on with it then, Pam. And then I went, yes, it's $8,000, with an inflection at the end of my voice, because even I couldn't believe what it was that I was about to say to her. And then she went, is that it? Okay, let's keep going. And I went, damn, Pam, that was your opportunity, but that taught me a big lesson. One of the biggest reasons why a lot of people are not buying your offers is because it's too cheap. So that they don't believe you. They don't believe that you can do what it is that you say that you can do, because it's too good to be true. And I'm sure you've heard of that saying, that if it's too good to be true, then it probably is, right? And so that's what I was doing, even without realizing that I was shortchanging myself, because every time people would hear of the incredible value that they would get when they then hear the price tag, because the two doesn't match each other, it made no sense. And the crazy thing is that people would rather not waste a small amount of money. So they would rather not waste $500. They would rather not waste $1,000. They would rather not waste 2K. They would rather not waste 200. You name it, they would rather not waste that than invest 10 times that amount in order to get the result that they want. And this is the beauty of high ticket. It's about value. And what is value? Value is an exchange of results. I give you value, you give me results. You get results as a result of the value that I have given you. And so the biggest reason is believability. They don't believe you. And so whilst you are there getting a little bit worried about, am I charging too much? Is this too much for my market? You're actually shortchanging yourself by not charging a high ticket, because then we just don't believe that you can help us. And that is a big, big, big problem. Now, the second point on this is that the people who are willing to pay the most are actually the easiest to get the results for. Oh my God, I love this. They're the easiest to sell. Meanwhile, people who are out there looking for a deal, looking for the cheapest thing, they're the hardest people to sell to. Oh my goodness. They will have the most objections. They will have 1,001 reasons as to why they wouldn't move forward. Now, one of the things that I had created earlier on in my business was another low ticket product. It was actually $37. And I did really well with this offer, but I have to tell you something, and this is what a lot of people do not know. Even though we sold thousands and thousands and thousands of this specific product, I needed 2 people in customer service alone. 2 people in customer service for a $37 product. Why? Because it was a low ticket product, it attracted a lot of low ticket minded people. And so therefore you had people who would be whining, who would be complaining, who wouldn't even open the product, who might have opened the product 12 months later when we've moved on to promoting something else or working on something else. All of a sudden you receive this email, oh, by the way, I bought this product 12 months ago and I'm only just opening it, and my password, oh Pam, I've forgotten my password, could you help me please? Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, but you've got to know that when people are not invested in something, they're just not invested in it. And so just as quickly as they say yes to that thing, they have just as many questions. They have, the will it work for me? I'm like, it's $37. What is there to lose? And so you'll find that when you have a low ticket program, you have a myriad of questions, of objections, and people have to think about it really hard, because it's not a matter of will it work for me. The real question they're really thinking in their head is, am I going to waste my money? Do you see the difference there? So when it's high ticket, this is an investment, and yes, it feels scary, but goodness, I'm investing in myself. I'm investing in my business, in my health, in my marriage, in my future, in my whatever, in my children. You know it. But when it's low ticket, the question isn't what this investment is going to be. It's more of, am I about to waste money? Because it's so low that, it's like throwing away money. Am I throwing away money? It's just like you throw change around because it's so low ticket. And so because of that, when people buy, oftentimes they buy for the wrong reasons. And when people buy, they buy because they actually want to buy, taste and see, and then refund the product. And it is a terrible thing in this industry, but I have to tell you, it is something that happens massively in this online space. When you are an expert and you have an information product, people will buy just to check it out and then to refund. Do they do that on a high ticket product? Will you pay 10K to check it out and then hope to get your 10K back? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't do that. Nobody does that. That would be insanity. And and here is a clear difference. When it's a low ticket product, you're more than likely to get that product offhand. When it's a high ticket product, because the value requires time for that transformation to take place, you can't just go, oh, can I have my 10K back? It doesn't work that way. And so that's another reason why it is so much easier to sell high ticket, because the quality of people that you get is just so much better. Number 3, low ticket equals low commitment. I find that whenever you have a low ticket product, people aren't even committed to doing the work. They expect to be spoon fed every step of the way. They want the work done for them. I cannot even make this up. For one of the products that we created for $37, we had these templates, and some people expected that we would write the copy, the sales copy for them. Like this would be a done for you service. As in, it's like, like we found out about your specific business and then we've come in to write the thing for you. So the expectation is all the way up here, hitting the roof. But yet the price tag that they are willing to pay was this little. Now we can deliver that expectation. We can fulfill that expectation, but not for $37. Do you see the difference? So the commitment level is so low, and they expect you to move mountains on their behalf. And so this is one of the reasons why I have to switch to high ticket. When I switched to high ticket, I came off a launch where we did 120K in 3 days. Then again, we did 189K in 3 days. Then I created a 70K offer. And the people who are investing in these programs, then they honestly, the amount of questions that they have, I would say is probably 5% compared to the questions that come from people who are buying low ticket products. And their questions, for those who are investing in themselves, they're so far more sophisticated. You can see that these people are asking questions about their investment. They understand that they're making an investment. They're not thinking that they're spending money. So the mindset is so much different. And so therefore, getting them results or helping them to get results in that specific area of their life is just so much easier, because not only are they invested in the program, but they are invested in themselves. They have put money on their own head, on their own selves, on their own future. And that is what makes it so unique and so different. Number 4, when people pay premium, they have skin in the game. When I first invested in my very first high ticket offer, honestly, back then, before then, I was one of those people who I would go for the free stuff. I'm not ashamed to tell you this. I have to tell you, because this is one of the reasons why it took me a little bit longer to have a successful business, because I didn't have the right mindset. I was a low ticket type of person. And so I would go to the webinars, the free webinars. I'd hang out on YouTube. I'd read as many blogs as I can to glean as much as I can. I'm an intelligent woman, so I can always make it work. When I hear information, I can transpose or transcribe that information and see what it is that the person is trying to say and do it. The problem with that is you get used to doing that, and what you don't realize is that you are actually taking the long route, because you're not willing to sit under somebody to teach you what they have learned over the course of, say, 10 years, and they get to distill it for you in a process of, say, 6 months or even 12 months. What you're doing is you're taking the long route, and the chances are that whoever it is that you're following or copying, it'll also take you 10 years and more to get the results that they have if you haven't quit before then. So one day I saw the light. I saw the light. Yes, I decided to make my very first high ticket investment, but my mind wasn't quite right. So I remember making the first payment, and the moment I made the payment, I had the biggest buyer's remorse. So I thought to myself, oh my goodness, Pam, what is it that you have just done? You've just made a mistake. And so in my mind, I thought to backtrack on my decision. So I sent an email to my coach, very long email. Oh my goodness. I had every excuse under the sun in this email. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please send me my money back. Oh, I just had a baby. Please. This is one of the reasons why I cannot make this investment. Give me a little bit. I had every excuse under the sun. And then I sent the email. And then I waited, thinking that as a fellow woman and a mum herself, she would understand. And she would say, Pam, I completely understand where you're coming from, and here is your money back. She did not do that. So she sends me back an email, and in that email, she told me about myself. She dressed me right down and she said, Pam, you better pull yourself together. You owe it to yourself to see this investment through that you have made in yourself, and it is up to you to get the results. Oh my goodness, it felt like a slap in the face. But I can promise you it was probably the best email that I have ever received in my entire life, because it helped me to sit up. And because of that, I did do the program, and without that program, I don't even think that I'd be sitting where I am right now, because guess what it did for me? It gave me serious skin in the game. It gave me value. It gave me the things that I wanted, and God forbid, if I had backed out of that program, I have zero idea where I would be. In fact, I know where I would be. I would be back where I was at square one, still trucking along and doing all of the things that I shouldn't be doing, thinking that I was making headway when really I was moving, but I was moving in circles around myself. So, do you have skin in the game? Do you? So, to round up, when people pay premium, what they're really doing is showing that they have skin in the game. Number 5, when you have premium clients, you have premium money, and so therefore you have more resources for your clients. And this is what I love most about my coaching program, our mastermind. We have an incredible amount of resources for our clients. We have not only myself as the head coach, we have an accountability coach, we have a mindset coach, we have a copywriting coach. We also have somebody who comes in to teach automation and Facebook ads. In fact, we're giving you everything, the keys to the kingdom on a platter, and it's not via course or via videos. No, we are there helping our clients to implement, and this is one of the reasons why they get incredible results. And in fact, it just leads me back to, I remember one of the ladies who came into the mastermind, and she sent me a screenshot that is on your screen. And she sent this screenshot. In fact, we were discussing this, and I took this screenshot, and she had just done her very first 10K in a weekend. In a weekend. This was about 2.5 months into the program. Why? Because of all of the resources that is available to her. It is so much easier to get results, because not only does she have skin in the game, but she has all of the resources. We have the financial resources to employ more people to really help our clients. But imagine if you have a low ticket program. The chances are, yes, you'd have a lot of clients, but they would be picking on you or picking at you like flies. And because of that, you'd be exhausted. You would be tired. You would probably not even enjoy the things that you are doing. You won't even have the finances to bring in more people, more coaches, more resources to truly help your clients. So there you have it. Which way will you go? Low ticket, high ticket? Now, how do you have a high ticket offer? It is by creating a signature offer that is transformational, and this is exactly what we teach you to do inside of our intensive. Now, if you want to find out a little bit more about what we do on our intensive and how we create these offers and the sales systems that go behind them, then make sure you check out the link below this video, where I'll be giving you a link to our calendar so that you can schedule a call. There is no cost to it, but in that we get to sit with you on Zoom and have a quick chat about your business, to see your vision and to really see where you are leaving money on the table, and show you how to create your own signature offer. Now, on that note, I want to talk very briefly about why is it that people are not creating a signature offer, or they're not selling high ticket. Number one, the number one reason that I believe that people are really afraid to sell high ticket is because they have not invested in high ticket in themselves. So that means that they haven't invested, any significant amount of money in their own journey. It's like, how do you ask somebody to invest 10K into your program if you've never invested 10K into somebody else's, into yourself? Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's the law of attraction. If you're the kind of person who is always doing low ticket and, really afraid to invest in yourself, well, guess what? You're going to attract people who are just like you. And so they're going to come to pick your brain for free, and they're not going to invest in your program because you haven't invested in yourself. And so you wouldn't even have the confidence to require that investment from someone else. So that is the first thing that you have to change. The second reason is what I call imposter syndrome. So a lot of people struggle with selling high ticket because they have imposter syndrome. What is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is asking questions such as, am I even good enough? Will people even buy from me? Am I even what the market needs? Imposter syndrome is also things like, being afraid because of perhaps the color of your skin, perhaps your own accent, perhaps the way, your own look. It's a lack of confidence where you start doubting yourself, and from doubting yourself, you begin to doubt your own abilities, and you have this imposter syndrome. This is a big thing. It's a big thing, you see. Now, this is one of those things that you have to crush. You cannot struggle with imposter syndrome because that will massively hold you back. And you may or may not know this, but the biggest battle that you will ever have is the one in here, the one in your mind. And that is where that imposter syndrome really truly lives and breathes. So if this is an area that you struggle with, this is one of those areas that you've got to absolutely kill. You have to be a master over your own mind. Otherwise, your mind will be a master of you, and you will remain small in your comfort zone. Number three, another reason why people struggle to sell high ticket is because they don't actually believe that they're solving a real problem. And this is one of the reasons why we always invite people to schedule a call with us, so that we can show you, where your money is. And we can tell you whether you are solving a real problem or not. And if we feel that you're not solving a big problem for people, we'll show you exactly where to pivot, how to move, what to start targeting, and what problems your ideal clients are more than happy to pay an arm and a leg for. Because the bigger the problem you solve, the more money you're going to make. That is the truth, hands down. Number four, their message attracts the wrong type of clients. Now, one of the ways to make money online, in fact, the main way of making money online is through words. It is through your messaging. Words such as written words, words on video, words on audio, it doesn't matter. It's words that sell. Now, a lot of people don't understand how to craft the messaging that attracts high-paying clients. And so a lot of the things that you're probably talking about on social media, is attracting low-balling clients, or, clients who do not appreciate the value that you have within you, because you don't even know the value that you have within you. So it's not coming across in your message. So this is a big area that is definitely really worth looking into. So on the topic of creating a signature offer, and of course selling that signature offer high ticket, let me ask you this. What is it worth to somebody if through your help you are able to save their marriage, right? What is it worth if you're a marriage coach but you're helping somebody to save their marriage? Think about the cost of divorce. Think about the things that they would lose as a result of the divorce. Imagine that if they have children, their children will be dragged through the mud of divorce. Imagine if they are successful, they would instantly lose half of that success through the divorce. Just think. Right? Think about that. Isn't it worth them paying you or investing 20K into your program that saves them the £500,000 or $500,000 in assets that they would lose as a result of this divorce? Think about it that way. What about if you're in the business stage like I am, and you're helping somebody to build a 6 or 7 figure, 8 figure business? Is it really worth them holding on to their problem, then investing the 20K to work with you so that you can actually teach them, hold them by the hand, help them to save the time, cut the trial and error that they would have experienced if they did it themselves? Just imagine how long it would take them. Imagine how much more they would actually spend without your help, because they're trying to cut corners orders, and so therefore they're investing in the wrong places. Now also think about what the money would do for them, how it would allow them to live the life that they truly value, that they truly desire, how it would allow them not only to buy a property but to be mortgage free, how it would allow them to give their children the life that they desire for their children to have, to travel and see the world, to leave some money instead of living from paycheck to paycheck, but to actually live a life by design. This is what you have the power to create. This is what I do all day long for my clients. Now let's talk about health. Imagine if you're in the health niche and you are helping somebody with their health. Let's say they have diabetes. Do you know what the cost of treatment is for a lot of health problems? But just imagine that through your coaching program, they're able to cut the cost because you have allowed them and helped them to lose weight so that they are not developing unnecessary health problems that will cost them 100 times the cost of your coaching program in the long run. Can you just imagine how life-changing you truly are and the power that you have within you? Now, put a price on that. When you're thinking about how to price your coaching programs, that is what you think about. That's where you need to be. And if you need more support with that, make sure you schedule a call with my team. We'll be glad to take a look at what it is that you're doing and give you our honest feedback, but most importantly, point you in the right direction to show you exactly what to focus on, how to clean up your messaging, and how to create that signature offer that allows you to charge high ticket. Brilliant. So before we go, I want to hear your comments. What are your thoughts? What is your biggest thing? What is the one thing that you think is holding you back from selling a 10K offer, a 20K offer, a 50K offer? Let me know in the comments. I respond to all of my comments and I will be responding to you. So before we go, make sure you check out this playlist where I talk a little bit more about the power of high ticket offers and how to create them. Make sure you check that out and I'll see you in my next video. See you then.